2019 is almost over, and I wanted to share with you 5 things that I learned over the past year while helping people buy and sell homes. This is Monday Mornings with Mark. Hi, I'm your host, Mark J. Schmidt of RE/MAX Country and MoveMeMark.com. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and make sure you like us on Facebook so you don't miss out. So 2019 has been a great year. I was able to help a lot of wonderful people buy and sell homes and move on to a new chapter of their lives. And I wanted to share with you 5 things that I learned this year that I think can help you and have definitely helped me grow as a professional real estate agent. So number 1, people can surprise you. I kind of knew this, but I really learned that this year when I had a home listed for sale in Lawrence Harbor, which is a section in Old Bridge. This home was a gorgeous home, over 3,000 square feet, and sitting right on Raritan Bay, overlooking the water and Staten Island. Absolutely beautiful. Well, this guy called me up and he said he wanted to see my listing. And he said, well, listen, I don't want to pay more than blank. And he gave me some really low ball number. And I said, well, let's not even waste our time going to look at the house because they're never going to accept that. And he said, well, no, I still want to see it. So I was like, oh, great. This guy's just going to be wasting my time. I'm going to go down there. He's going to look at it and he's going to say, nah, and we're not going to put anything together. Well, not only did we wind up putting a deal together, but he wound up being just an awesome guy. I grew so fond of him. He was just a real gentleman, and I consider him a friend now. And like I said, it was surprising. I've told him this before. I've told him that, gee, I thought it was just going to be a waste of my time to go down. I was totally wrong. He surprised me, and I'm so glad he did because, like I said, turned out to be a really great guy. The second thing I learned, don't close with an escrow, especially for something big. So what do I mean by don't close with an escrow? When you close with an escrow, it means that they've put money aside after the closing. It's really the seller has left money aside in an escrow account for the buyer to use to repair something. And typically what will happen is they'll keep that money to the side. Once the thing is repaired and it's paid for, whatever money is left over goes back to the seller. What happened was I helped a couple buy a home, a lovely couple, and this was their first home, and there was a problem with the septic system. The house wound up needing a new septic system. The seller insisted on closing with an escrow, and my clients agreed to it, and they said, oh, everything's fine, it'll be perfect, and it turned out to be a little bit more of a headache, I think, than they anticipated. Everything is good now, and everything is fixed, and they have a new septic system, which is great, but it really just taught me, you know what? Sometimes it's better if you don't close with an escrow. If it's something small, that's fine, but closing with a large escrow like that can come with it, like I said, some headaches that you might not want. So don't close with a big escrow. The next thing was this was something that should be obvious, but I learned. I sold a house to a great couple here in North Brunswick, and we had a dispute over the survey. They had a survey, the sellers. I was representing the buyers, and the sellers had a survey that had a mistake on it. And my client actually found the mistake, ordered a new survey, and when the new surveyor came and put stakes down, they'll put stakes down in the ground to mark off, where the property lines are. I went to the house and the owners were there, and the wife was very upset. She said, this guy did not know what he was doing. He didn't measure things correctly. I've got 83 feet in front of my house and he only has 75 here. And she pulled out an iPhone, and she had this app on her iPhone that she was able to measure things with, and she measured it and it showed it was only like 74 feet instead of 83 feet. And so my client showed up, and my client, he was cool as a cucumber. He just went into his car, he pulled out a 100-foot tape measure, and he had me hold one end, and he walked to the other stake. So I was standing at one stake, he went to the other stake, and it turned out it was exactly 83 feet. It was exactly the correct measurement. The seller had gotten all upset using this app on her phone. So I learned apps on your phones might not be that accurate all the time. So sometimes going for the old tried and true tape measure, that's the way to go. And really, you know, there's kind of like a sub lesson there, which is don't get all upset over something until you're absolutely sure of what you're getting upset about. This poor woman was out of her mind angry, and she really didn't need to be because everything had been measured correctly, which she was not aware of, thanks to her phone. Anyway, going on to number 4. The fourth thing I learned was about determination. I worked with a couple and was helping them buy a home, and the wife was holding down a few jobs. She needed to hold down a few jobs so she could make sure that she qualified for the house. She knew she qualified, you know, she knew she could afford the house just having her one main job, but she also had a second job because she wanted to make sure she didn't have any problems, any issues getting that mortgage commitment. And I was so impressed with this woman because she worked so hard to do what was right for her family, and she killed it. She did a great job. They've got a great house now, and I'm not sure if she quit those jobs yet. I hope she did. But boy, that determination, that level of, like, you know, she set that goal and she said, I'm going to get that house. I want this house for my husband and my child, and if I have to kill myself to do it, I'm going to do it. And luckily, she didn't have to kill herself, but she worked hard and she made it happen. I was so happy to help them buy their home in East Brunswick. And the last thing I learned, you know, this isn't something I learned, but this is something I was reminded of. I helped a great couple sell their home in South River, and I helped them buy a fantastic townhouse in Long Branch. It was just like a block and a half to the beach. And what I remembered was that the Jersey Shore is awesome. It was so great showing them around. I'd shown them homes in like Long Branch and Asbury Park, and, you know, just going and seeing the homes down there, taking a look at the ocean and the beach. And, you know, we are so fortunate to be able to live in a coastal state and be able to just go look at the ocean whenever we want. There's lots of people here in the United States who are landlocked. They can't get to the ocean. We can go whenever we want. So that's the final thing I learned, is that the Jersey Shore is awesome. And you know what? Listen, it's been such a wonderful year, like I said before, being able to help all my clients with this new chapter in their lives. It really is a new chapter. You know, people always look at their lives in terms of, you know, before we bought a home and after we bought a home. And I take that very seriously, and I recognize the impact that that has on someone's life. So I'm very grateful and very blessed that I've been able to help my clients with this. Now listen, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in 2020, you should definitely reach out to me. You can find me and all my information and all my videos and great stuff like that on my website, which is www.MoveMeMark.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you missed last week's episode, I've got it right here for you. And here's another episode that YouTube thinks you should watch. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that circle and subscribe so you don't miss out. And I'll see you next week for more Monday Mornings with Mark. You have a great week.